Over the years, YouTube has changed. Back in the day, YouTubers like iDubbbz and Filthy Frank could run the platform with their blunt and edgy humor. However, as time has gone by and a few mishaps have caused a complete change in YouTube's ideology, we have seen the near extinction of that kind of humor on the platform. Creators who in the past were considered to be controversial or edgy have come and gone, either getting canceled out of the spotlight or changing their content altogether to fit with the changing times. However, there is one man who has stuck around and thrived in their absence, showing what it means to be a great personality and comedian on the platform, and that man is none other than JSCHLATT. Hey guys, this is JSCHLATT. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing, and maybe one of you can become my 100th subscriber. Thanks! But who is this JSCHLATT? Well, no one really knows. If you only see popular clips online, you could think he's a raging tyrannical narcissist, a proud New Yorker, a Gorilla Nuts enthusiast, a K-pop stan, a devout Catholic, a flamboyant homosexual, or maybe a gross combination of them all. But in the end, these clips do not show who he truly is. Even if you're a big fan and watch him talk about his life on podcasts or commentaries, you're never really sure how embellished or truthful his stories are. So, after 3 unfortunate years of being a JSCHLATT fan, amounting to hundreds of hours of watch time, and the fact that my last video blew up because his name was in the title, I decided to dig deeper into the tale of JSCHLATT. In order to get a better understanding of this mysterious man and how he got to a point where he can get millions of views reacting to his viewers' TikToks, we have to go back to the beginning. It was clear that from a young age, JSCHLATT had a love for putting out content and being an entertainer, as when he was barely a teenager, he would put out hacked Mario Kart videos recorded on a tripod in his living room. However, after Nintendo did what it does best and threatened to sue the 12-year-old for copyright, JSCHLATT had to change his brand and started making a name for himself in the same way many other 2010s YouTubers did, with MLG edits. When he was not making this quality content, he was playing baseball. And since JSCHLATT is a pretty tall and athletic guy, his skill on the baseball field at a young age was not surprising. Although JSCHLATT definitely had the build and the look to be a promising left fielder for the Blue Jays, this story is not about a hardworking kid turned athlete, but a hardworking kid turned YouTuber. Every parent's dream. So, when JSCHLATT decided he wanted to quit baseball, rather than letting him have all the free time in the world, his mom said that he would have to start working. Before he was even a teenager, JSCHLATT began work at a deli, making far less than minimum wage. However, this illegal child labor taught JSCHLATT useful skills which would come in handy in his future. He learned the value of the dollar, which helped him to appreciate the position he is in now. He learned to mop up the floors, which taught him how to clean up messes, which he and his friends often found themselves in. And finally, working in a deli taught him to appreciate meat, which helped him to, Well, in the coming years, JSCHLATT continued to work various jobs and made YouTube videos on the side, producing some of his most popular pieces of content. He would often put out OpenTTD gameplay and some short content like Elon, Are You OK? But what really helped him gain popularity were his video essays. In these videos, JSCHLATT would go on about various topics he found interesting at the time, some of which include essays on space, keyboards, or the future. But, most importantly, he put out a video essay called A Tribute to Minecraft. This video, although it had less views than his most popular, was arguably the best piece of content he put out to that point, and clearly had the most time, effort, and heart put into it. As titled, A Tribute to Minecraft was JSCHLATT's love letter to the game that shaped his life and the lives of millions. This video garnered a lot of attention, and the video's positive reception allowed JSCHLATT to get on the radar of some popular creators at the time. This video caught the eye of Call Me Carson, who was eager to befriend the 17-year-old JSCHLATT. JSCHLATT didn't know it yet, but he was about to help revamp the game that meant so much to him. In the years following its release, Minecraft had been on a decline in popularity, and in 2019, something happened that would change that and define the Minecraft scene for years to come. This thing was SMP Live, which JSCHLATT joined in March of 2019. SMP Live was a Minecraft server started by Call Me Carson and C-Scoop and was filled with dozens of content creators. These creators would spark conflicts, make businesses, and generally just mess around, all providing fun entertainment for the viewers. This would set a trend that would continue for years to come. So although JSCHLATT denies that he's a Minecraft YouTuber, it can't be denied that he was heavily involved in its resurrection and its landscape today. JSCHLATT's introduction to SMP Live helped to extremely boost his popularity, and this is when the masses were introduced to the JSCHLATT we know today. His exaggerated personality was a hit, as we saw him doing crypto scams, being a crooked businessman, and using the funny mic, along with many other bits that we see from him today. He had a sort of edgy humor evolved from the YouTubers of old that could thrive in this new adpocalypse age. He began to skyrocket in popularity, and actually moved channels, posting his condensed live streams on JSCHLATT Live instead of his main channel JSCHLATT, which since has become inactive. During this same period, although it is unclear what the exact timeline of events were, JSCHLATT dropped out of college. JSCHLATT went to college to study computer science and cybersecurity. However, after a bit of time and realizing the two choices comp sci majors have, dropping out or being depressed, JSCHLATT chose the former and set his sights on a YouTube career. Although difficult, this may have ended up being the best decision of his life. This isn't to say his YouTube career didn't have any setbacks. Trust me, we'll get into those later. But one of the first times JSCHLATT faced adversity as a content creator happened very quickly after he joined SMP Live. Just a few months following his introduction, JSCHLATT decided it was time to do a face reveal. He went about it by making a very short, quick-to-the-point reveal at the end of one of his videos. And it's probably better he did it this way, as we've seen what happens when people hype up their face reveal and make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Even so, the insane mob known as Twitter did its thing and obsessed over the face reveal, and many made his unshaven, prepubescent face their profile pic. This caused JSCHLATT to have a lot of fear and anxiety over being recognized for the first time. And, to make matters worse, he did this reveal right before VidCon, and was rightfully worried about getting swarmed by fans. Following his near-death experience at VidCon, JSCHLATT got back to playing Minecraft. As said previously, 2019 was an insane year for Minecraft and Minecraft content, and JSCHLATT found himself involved in all of it. Along with SMP Live, we saw the introduction of Minecraft Monday, a Hunger Games style game, which is one of the best pieces of content made by the worst pieces of shit. These weekly events allowed us to see insane collaborations, such as JSCHLATT carrying Technoblade to a win, PewDiePie and James Charles teaming up, and many more hilarious interactions. Minecraft during that year brought so many YouTubers together, just as it did for all of us playing and watching at home. Honestly, with how much JSCHLATT played Minecraft, you'd expect him to be better at it, but his lack of skill along with his humor led to some great moments. This goes to say that Minecraft's importance in JSCHLATT's rise on YouTube cannot be ignored, especially considering he was directly involved in not just the 2019 Minecraft revolution, but another yet to come. During most of 2020, JSCHLATT took a step away from Minecraft and went even farther back into the gaming time machine, as he started playing Wii games and even got a taste of love going on the Bachelorette show, where he met some creators he would continue to collab with for years to come, including Minx, Wilbur Soot, and even film star Mia Malkova. Throughout the year, it was almost like he refused to play a game made in the past 5 years, as he'd continue with Wii content and branch out to things like Five Nights at Freddy's and Slenderman. But when we got to the end of 2020, JSCHLATT started going back to his roots. A few months following its creation, JSCHLATT joined a server alongside many other up-and-coming creators. This little server was started by the Minecraft man himself, Dream. After months of normal, fun-loving, mostly peaceful and wholesome content, the server was in desperate need of something different. In came JSCHLATT. Introduced originally as a one-off bit, JSCHLATT was eventually invited back, and upon his return, went on a path of destruction never seen before and never seen since. JSCHLATT's introduction added some very entertaining chaos to the server, where he acted as a ruthless dictator with a love for his liquor, and his reign on the server led to some hilarious moments. Again, Minecraft was back in the limelight, and famous Minecraft YouTuber JSCHLATT was in the middle of it. He was collabing with some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform like Dream and Technoblade. However, him being introduced to a new audience on the Dream SMP came with its consequences, as he was now under scrutiny from possibly the most brutal, violent and bloodthirsty groups of people on the internet, dream stands. As JSCHLATT became a more integral part of the Dream SMP, there was a large push to get him off the server. Even in his first time on the server with Tommy in it, who idolized JSCHLATT, Tommy's chat was quite hostile and was spamming Is JSCHLATT, and as much as JSCHLATT would love hundreds of men f***ing him, that was not what they meant, and there was a clear disdain for the creator by some very vocal fans of the Dream SMP. The Dream SMP had a perception as a group of wholesome comfort creators, and JSCHLATT didn't fit that mold. JSCHLATT was known for his blunt humor. Basically, he was like Norm Macdonald with multiple personality disorder, and in a group with creators like Dream, Wilbur Soot, and Niachu, who many consider to be comfort streamers, there was a big contrast between JSCHLATT and the rest. It's funny, as none of the creators themselves had issues with JSCHLATT and enjoyed his company, and it was clear that his presence on the server helped improve his popularity. But why were the Dream stands after this silly little character? Well, one time he named a character something inappropriate on a game a few years back, and another time he said he was on Hood Twitter, and yeah, there isn't really anything else. These people basically went on a witch hunt because they didn't like their precious server being intruded on by a guy who was different and less PC, but truly had done nothing wrong. JSCHLATT was not even on the server that often, but when he was, he sparked wars, started arguments, and fueled rivalries on a server that was getting mundane before his introduction. When it was time to leave the server, JSCHLATT left in the same way he came, abruptly and drunk, as his character was killed off due to an alcohol-induced heart attack, and JSCHLATT had played his part perfectly and sent the server into pure anarchy. Following his impactful tenure on the Dream SMP, he went back to his normal, inconsistent upload schedule, now moving from Wii games to Jackbox minigames. JSCHLATT was dominating the YouTube scene and seemed to have found his groove, basically just doing whatever he loved, whether that be Jackbox videos, buying $30,000 statues of monkey balls, or just watching TikTok compilations. And I guess he really fell in love with TikTok compilations because that is all the content we have really seen from his channel since. There is the occasional throwback to the old days with rants on random topics such as corporate design or airplane Wi-Fi, but for the most part it was reactions to fan-submitted clips and TikToks. The reason for this is JSCHLATT has said that they're the easiest to make and get him a ton of views, and best of all, they allow the viewer to get more of that high-quality JSCHLATT content. This is not to say the whole journey has been easy. When riding the wave of ad revenue from TikTok compilations, there's bound to be some bumps along the way. As we've come to find out, JSCHLATT's rise to fame was in part due to the opportunity given to him by another YouTuber, Call Me Carson, who introduced him to SMP Live after being brought to tears by JSCHLATT's masterpiece, a tribute to Minecraft. JSCHLATT considered Carson a close friend, and at the end of 2020, around when JSCHLATT joined the Dream SMP, Carson found himself cancelled and being exposed by the whole internet. JSCHLATT had been trying to help Carson through a tough point in his life, but he was not getting the full story from Carson, and JSCHLATT had to address the situation in a video on his previously mentioned channel, The Weekly Slap. This definitely took a toll on JSCHLATT, as he had lost trust in someone he considered a close friend. And unfortunately, this was not the end of serious controversy surrounding JSCHLATT. In mid-2021, JSCHLATT joined a content creation org known as OTK, and in typical JSCHLATT fashion, his introduction to the team was over the top and violent, very reminiscent of his actions in '99. Nonetheless, this move seemed to be a great one at the time. JSCHLATT was a powerhouse on YouTube and was joining a group with massive Twitch creators like Mizkif, Asmongold, and Tips Out, allowing for viewer crossover that would benefit everyone involved. However, at the end of 2022, OTK owners Mizkif and Rich Campbell found themselves in separate controversies, and as these came to light, JSCHLATT left the org supposedly to pursue other things. It was not said whether this was due to the controversies or not, but the timing seems like it wasn't a coincidence. I do not want to go too in-depth about the controversy surrounding Carson, Mizkif, or Rich because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say on YouTube, but if you want more info, I've linked some videos below. With all the controversy around him, JSCHLATT was never directly involved and was able to properly distance himself from the problem, and continue to do what he does best and has just been putting out more content. I've said before that JSCHLATT has too many channels to track, and it's true. In his channel list, he has 8 channels, and almost all of them are still active, posting monthly, weekly, or even daily. This doesn't even include the collaborations he does all the time, whether that be with big YouTubers like Dream or degenerate YouTubers like Pyrocynical. Unless you were a super fan of him, you would be unaware of the time and effort he puts into content creation. Although his persona tries to convince you otherwise, with him joking about how easy and profitable it is to make TikTok reactions, he is putting in so much work behind the scenes, and it shows. He has 2 podcast channels, Chuckle Sandwich and Sleep Deprived, which upload weekly. The previously mentioned Weekly Slap, which posts weekly every few months or so, JSCHLATT Live, which is his main channel now, a VODs channel where biannual live streams are uploaded, and even a music channel where him and Ludwig, former CEO Susan's favorite YouTuber, produce copyright-free music for creators to use. This is all to say that JSCHLATT is one of the best YouTubers on the platform right now, operating in a middle ground between what YouTube used to be and what it is now. His ability to not cross the line, but to in a way push it to its limits, is a great skill of his and makes him, in my opinion, one of the best comedians in the YouTube space today. JSCHLATT plays a character and says controversial things, but the genius behind it is you can either see it as him making fun of or advocating for all the things he says. When he talks about being a gun-loving conservative, you are not sure how deep the layers of irony go. JSCHLATT's characters always seem to be operating behind some layers of irony, putting the viewer in a position where we are never sure what he actually thinks. By using this method, he can appease both sides of any spectrum because everyone, except Dream stans, believes he's on their side. Up to this point, we have been getting a superficial view of JSCHLATT, but to get a true look at who he is, we have to look at a channel I've mentioned briefly, the Weekly Slap. Due to JSCHLATT having more active channels than Mr. Beast has Teslas, it's hard to keep up with when they were all made, but in between the creation of a tribute to Minecraft and before his introduction to SMP Live, JSCHLATT made a new channel called the Weekly Slap. This channel is where we see a calm and collected JSCHLATT with no persona. He is not a scammer, he is not a homosexual, he is not a BTS stan, and he's not in love with minks. He is just himself. Although we have gotten glimpses of the real JSCHLATT from time to time, such as seeing him stressing over a face reveal, or just him speaking from the heart on some of his video essays, this channel was different. Here, there weren't any personas or deception. No reactions or collaborations. Just JSCHLATT going back to the basics, doing commentary over Call of Duty gameplay. JSCHLATT said he wanted to emulate the YouTube content of old, but instead of talking about the latest drama or gameplay, he just wanted to talk about the real things in life, like how to tie a tie, getting over ex-girlfriends, or the holidays. It was all going to be here on the Weekly Slap. The plan was for videos to be put out weekly, but as we know, JSCHLATT can never be held to a consistent upload schedule, so it didn't take long for the Weekly Slap to become the monthly or semi-annually slap. But nonetheless, this channel gave us a glimpse into the man behind the mask, as we saw JSCHLATT speak from the heart and respond to viewers looking for advice as he stormed his way through Call of Duty lobbies. This is why I believe the persona of JSCHLATT is so successful. Unlike edgy creators of old, we can get a glimpse into the real person putting out the content. These videos show that JSCHLATT is a caring, humble, and emotionally intelligent person who wants to help his viewers by answering their questions and showing them they are not alone. JSCHLATT offers a space separate from everything else to drop the act, while also not destroying the mystery of his personas on other channels because he's not talking about the same topics as he does everywhere else. All of these channels and personalities amass to what I would say is one of the best creators on the platform. JSCHLATT is here, he's been here for a while, and he's here to stay. His ability to constantly change and adapt his content is unmatched, going from MLG compilations to video essays to Minecraft roleplay. If there's entertaining content to be made, JSCHLATT will be there. Even when it comes to the TikTok videos I've made fun of throughout the video, he is still somehow able to make his better than the competition. It may be corny, but the past 3 years of my life have definitely been better due to JSCHLATT's presence on the platform. He's made me laugh, made me funnier by copying his jokes, and even helped inspire me to make YouTube videos. He's a subtle reminder of YouTube's past, but upgraded for a vastly different landscape. And even after a few controversies and numerous attempts at his cancellation, one thing stands tall, and that is none other than JSCHLATT. If you made it all the way to the end, I'm sorry. But hopefully you at least enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.